How's everybody doing today? I think it's the 25th of April, 2025. We're in the greenhouse. So I've been trying to figure out an efficient way to water and fertilize my seedlings, right? In all the little grow trays that we got back there. So what I was doing is I was taking a spritzer bottle, right? And I was putting in the fish emulsion, right? It's got low numbers. It's not really strong. It's not going to burn your plants. It does smell a little funky though. So what I would do is I would put some of that fish emulsion into the spray bottle and spray the plants, right? So they could be fertilized. But you can't really get enough water on the plants and on each individual cell for the water and the fertilizer to really run all the way through it, right? Because you're using a spritzer bottle. You can't really use a watering can because just too much water comes out of the end and it just makes a big mess everywhere. You can't really control it, right? So with your plants, whenever possible, you want to bottom water those, right? Whether you can put water in a tray in the bottom and let it wick up, or, I don't know, maybe pour water in the bottom of the tray, but then it doesn't evaporate and then the bottom gets all rotten because there's just way too much water in it, right? And some of those grow trays, those cells, some of them, depending on the actual design of the cell or the drip tray it's in, sometimes they don't fit flat. Like you've seen some of mine and they go like this. So I've actually had to put rocks in the bottom to level them back out again. You'll see that when we start working our way through. So I think that I may have found the solution to both of those problems. How to bottom water those seedlings, right? Because like some of the peppers back there, you'll see, I'm going to be transplanting those in a couple of days. Maybe even this afternoon. I've got some free time today and a lot of them are getting ready to transplant. I don't want to transplant them while they're dry. They tend to not come out of the cells nicely. Plus, it's more stressful on them if they're really dry like that when you're transplanting them and so on and so forth. So you guys want to see what I come up with? Okay, here's my solution. Hey, look at that. Look at how the light is reflected in the water. That's cool. Because you can't see that when you're looking at the light because it's too bright. Okay, so here's the plan. We have a tote just big enough to fit these trays in, right? I've got about 1.5 inches of water in there. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take our fish emulsion. Oh, that stinks. You got to shake it because all the good stuff settles at the bottom. Give it a good shake. Be ready for the smell. I'm not joking. It's pretty gross. This stuff is concentrated. You don't need a lot. Look at it spreading out in there. All right. Now we're going to give it a stir. Basically, all we've done is we've just made a great big fertilizer bath. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to empty all of these trays out into the greenhouse, out the door behind me, so I have room to work in here because I got to get to all the trays in the back. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get everything out of here, and then I'm going to water each tray and then put it back so that way I can move around in here. So I'm going to take care of that right now. I'll get all these trays out and then we'll be back and we're going to start the process. All right. Let's see how this works. We have a flat of peppers, right? Let's do this. And I know I'm going to be splattering stuff on the floor. I've got an old dirty towel up there. All right. So we're just going to take these out. Right? And I mean, these are freshly watered and even the bottoms, they're dry, and I watered these yesterday. So we're just going to let those sit in there for, 30 seconds or so. And it's just going to wick up all of the water that it wants to through the slices on the holes on the sides of the trays. And then after about, 30 seconds, 45 seconds, whatever I'm just kind of working the bugs out of this. So, but I figure 30, 45 seconds, maybe a minute, it'll absorb what it needs. I'm thinking I might actually put some more water in it though. So they've been in there about 2 minutes, and I just put about another inch of water, plus or minus, plus a little more fertilizer. Whoa, didn't expect that to happen. Holy jeez. Okay. Just let it drip off for a second. There we go. Oh, sorry, you didn't see that part. Nice and watered and fertilized. And we'll just put this right back where she went before. And you can even do, like I've got these little eggplants, the Turkish eggplant. You can even do it with that, right? Just take your little eggplants, set them in the water. And they're just going to suck that fertilizer and water right up in and right nice through the bottom. And then all the roots from this, they're just going to go straight down towards all of that water. So these don't need much because I watered them yesterday. Put those right back here. I use a lot of Gaia Green products as fertilizer, but you can't, because it's a powder with the Gaia Green, you have to blend it into the top of the soil. And you can't do that with these cells. Look at that, you can just see the water just soak right through. Camera didn't pick it up. There. See, right there? You can see the water just came right through. That was fast. So we're not going to have to do some of these very long at all. Let them drip dry. These are white onions, guys. Back into the tray. And on to the next one. What's next? Do some more onions. Red. Oh, what's going on here with the camera? Come on, there we go. Do a couple more onions. Just get the tray ready, and then we'll just literally right out of the bath, right in. See, and really dry soil, guys, does not like to absorb water. Like you can see the one up at the end, right there. Trying to get them moist again. Back into the tray. Just like that. Back in the tray. So there, what do you think? Seems to work great. takes in all the water it needs, you drip out the bottom whatever it doesn't need, sucks all that fertilizer right in. You don't have to worry about over fertilizing, or the fertilizer and the water just sitting on the top quarter inch of your soil if you're using like a spray bottle. Now the other thing I got to say though is with that fish emulsion fertilizer, you can foliar spray your plants with it. It will absorb into the leaves of your plants if your plants are bigger. Like if I wanted to feed those tomatoes right there, I could put it in a spray bottle and then just spray the whole plant down top to bottom, and it'll just absorb right through the leaves and, fertilize the plant that way. It's kind of inefficient to water the fertilizer into those in this format here. So what I did yesterday is I just used Gaia Green, and they were all fertilized yesterday with Gaia Green. I put in about a quarter cup of fertilizer into each one of those pots, scratched it into the top with my fingers because you can't. Gaia Green powdered fertilizer doesn't blend into your soil when you water it. It just floats on the top of the water, and then as the water soaks in, the fertilizer just sits on the top. So you got to loosen up the top of your soil, put your fertilizer on that, and then scratch that in with your fingers, mix it in with the soil, and then water it. So if you guys are using Gaia Green powders, don't just apply it to the top of your soil. You're basically wasting your time. Mix it into that top surface of your soil, then water it. So, all right. Well, I have about a dozen trays to do now, so I'm going to get to it, and maybe this helps you guys with what you're doing in your greenhouse. All right, guys. Grow good food. Have an awesome day. We'll see you in the next one.